Hey everybody! Might have heard something there. I was sliding my table a little closer to me. Hope y'all have had a good Sunday. We are back on Powerwash Simulator 2, the most satisfying game of the year. So currently, after the first stream, we did earn some of the trophies, a few easy ones, such as doing the very first job and owning everything for a light-duty washer. This is for finishing all jobs, so that's going to be like the last trophy we get, or one of the last ones. Own all the washers and attachments. That's going to be a bit expensive. Did a few things around the home base, but haven't found the gnome yet. And then petted all the cats, equipped different like skins and stuff, and then a bunch of job-specific trophies that we still have left. So yeah, we got quite a ways to go on this game, of course, but it is so much fun so far, so I have no complaints. Lots of satisfaction left to come in this game. Let's start the... Actually, no, let's go to home base. I don't know why it actually lets you just, like, wash everything in your house, though, and, like, ruin everything in your house. Aw, each the kitty. Aw. Now, there is a gnome somewhere in this house that we need to find. I'm sure it's, like, actually rather obvious, but I'm gonna look around and just see if it's anywhere around here. It could be up there somewhere. We might just not even have access to everything yet. It might be outside. That's just the billboard. We've already interacted with that. Yeah, I don't see the gnome yet, so we'll find it later on. But this is kind of cool, so I guess you can just come back here and just do your free play through this instead of just having to go through the menus and stuff, which is actually pretty nice. Alright, I don't see the gnome, so... Oh, there he is. Easy enough. Let's just place him right there, where he's a little more obvious. Easy enough, little extra trophy right there, so no difficulty. And where are we off to next? The Teapot Tea Room. I don't think this one has a miscellaneous trophy, but I'm going to double check. It's not looking like it so far. Oh wait, yes there is. Okay, so we have to... This one's easy though, just place a gnome on each seat. That's actually pretty easy. Let's see how big of a job this is. I didn't actually look at the amount of money this one is. Okay, this one doesn't seem too bad. Let's go ahead and knock out that Oh, there might be 2 miscellaneous trophies we can get here. Oh, do I have to clean the... Ooh, I might have to clean these first. Okay, then. That's fine. That's fine. It's so satisfying. Yeah, I'm assuming we just have to clean those first. There's lots of gnomes laying around, so I guess we have to find all the ones around here and put them all on chairs at the same time. Yeah, place a gnome on each seat. Don't know if you ever tried karmic mud flinging. It's quite amazing. I have not tried any sort of karmic mud flinging. Think of anyone who has ever wronged you, then you pick up a big dollop of mud and fling it while uttering what we call the expletives of forgiveness. Okay, well, I guess as long as you're not hurting anyone, I guess there's worse things you could do out there. Interesting decision with that. Yeah, we must not be able to place them until we actually clean everything, so we'll save the teapot itself for later. Clean the chairs first. Yeah, if anyone else has started playing this game, let me know what you think so far of it. I'm loving it. I mean, I literally played for like over 4 hours last night, because it was so much fun. And I just had to get that job done at the end. Like, that's just the thing about this game, is you'll get to a point where it's like, oh, I probably should be going to bed right now, but another part of me wants to go ahead and finish this level, and then I just need to go finish another job after that, and then that cycle just completely just keeps going on forever, and it makes me stay up until, like, 2 in the morning power washing things. Aha. Okay, it's not gonna let that... Okay, that's not good, so... I wonder if that one's gonna end up being bugged or something. Might have to double check that one. That one might actually be bugged or something, so I guess we'll see. It doesn't look like I can do it. If I can't do it, that's at least an easy one, but to do in free play. But yeah, that doesn't seem like it wants to unlock, so might have to come back to that later. Or not that it won't unlock, it's just the fact that I can't drop the gnome into the seat itself. But yeah, today I haven't been doing too much with YouTube. I've just been getting caught up on videos and stuff, and like stuff that I've recorded. Been busy with all of that. New season of Survivor started, new season of Amazing Race started, plus all the other stuff that I'm watching. Alright, we're only at 4%, surprisingly. It seems like we would be further along at this point. And guys, let me know how the audio sounds. Make sure that you can hear me speaking. Make sure the game sounds right. Just want to make sure of that, because again, it's a little weird being back on the PS5 doing this. Or maybe they can only go on one specific chair or something? I don't know. That it could be quirky like that. I don't think it will be, but that'd be a weird requirement if that was actually it. That chair should be cleaned at this point. Oh, no it's not. There's a little spot left. Another little spot. And I missed an entire thing on the front. Okay, so this whole area is good. Almost. Let's get the table itself. And get this area. And I'm trying to figure out where all this, like, algae and moss and stuff is exactly coming from. It doesn't seem like it really should be this bad. I mean, the volcano isn't erupting, so it's not coming from the volcano this time, at least not yet, unless they do that for the story again, which is what it kind of looks like it might be headed for. Alright, so that whole area is cleared. So yeah. Whoa, okay. That doesn't seem to work, though. Huh. So yeah, that doesn't work. So unless, do they just have to each be in a specific seat or something? Nah. No, that doesn't seem to be working, unfortunately. So we might have a bug here for one of the trophies, unfortunately. I'll need to see if that one's causing anyone else any problems. But luckily, there is another trophy we can get with it. Okay. I have no idea why that just happened. Yeah, so... that was strange. Now I'm very confused because... yeah, this job seems to be quite broken, unfortunately. Yeah, this job seems to be a bit broken, which is not good. We should be able to knock out another one right here, so... hey, TJ'd. Alright, got that trophy done, so that one was easy enough. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting glitch then. So if you get onto a scissor lift with a gnome, that's what happens. Does it happen anywhere? Yeah, it does. Okay. Now that's weird. That's definitely a bug. Definitely a bug. So I am going to have to come back to this level later once they fix this bug, because I can't drop the gnome into the seats for some reason, so... Unless for some reason that one can't be seated for some reason. It's entirely possible they might do something like that, but... Let's find out. It's so satisfying. So satisfying. What about this gnome? Aw, our cats are here. That's adorable. Of course, I'm a dog person, but I like cats as well, and most other animals. Okay, so that one I was able to put in a seat. And that one went in a seat. Huh. So it might only be one of them that it doesn't work. Let's go see if we can find the other gnomes then, because that one of them might just not work for some reason. Halfway done with Little Nightmares 2. Nice. How's it going? Game any fun? I don't really know too much about that one. I saw maybe a couple of people that had done it. I know Nick just did, like, Outlast 2's Permadeath, which I'll be curious to watch that video at some point. So out of curiosity, does this... It does not have to be clean, so... This one should be fairly easy to get later on, unless it's just too bugged. And there's one up there, but I'm assuming I do have to use this one on the ground here, which is a serious problem because it seems to be bugged. Very creepy, but very good. Okay, then. Yeah, sometime this coming week, I'll probably jump back on Clock Tower, at least, and that in Scooby-Doo at some point, just for the end of Spoopy Month. We made really good progress in Scooby-Doo in the first night, so that should only take 3 streams to get through this time. Clock Tower, like I said before, I'm only going to stream it probably 2 more times, once to finish Helen's run and get a few miscellaneous things, and then one more time after that, just to whenever I'm actually close to the mastery. So I still have no idea how some of those endings are even unlocked, so I know how to get the E ending for both characters. I know that. That's the only one I know what to do on. I also need to see if there's any way to, like, save scum it or anything. Make it a little bit faster. Replaying all the way, all the acts again is going to be a little bit annoying. Plus, we have to do, like, speed runs of the starting area, too, so it's going to be interesting. And Goth's house, and the library, I believe. But that'll all be for later on in this week at some point. Again, Scooby-Doo, like I said, that should only take 2 more streams, because just beating the game is so easy, or just even 100%ing the game is not that hard. Might have to make a short out of that just jumping into the air thing that happened earlier with the gnome and the scissor lift. That's an interesting bug, even though it doesn't really... I guess it could get you on top of the building if you needed to, and maybe that's a strategy that we use in later levels for one reason or another, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't see it being likely, but you never know. Alright, get the outside of that chair, get the inside of this chair. Oh, I so don't want to get up and go to work tomorrow, even though tomorrow's not super busy. It's actually nice for once for a Monday to not be super busy. Oh, I so don't want to do that. I just want to sit here and virtually power wash virtual objects for the rest of my life. It's more fun. And that's the sad thing, is that this is legitimately more fun than working in the healthcare field. Unless you're a doctor that makes, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and all that kind of stuff. Alright, that's done. And this is the last of the furniture outside, so that's good. We're only at 15%, but it should go faster after this. Perfect. Alright, let's get the remaining gnomes set up. So we have this one. Playing for fun, then get the collectibles later. Sounds like a good way to play it. Okay, so I know there's at least one up on top here. But I think there's only one up here, so... Oh, nope, you can do the same glitch even when they're facing that way. Okay. Okay, this is 100% like something that a speedrunner would probably find and abuse. Hey, Secret Underdog. Yeah, that's 100% something a speedrunner would probably find and abuse. Except that I'm not a speedrunner and I found this by accident. Okay, that time it worked. Well, that was really weird because earlier he would not sit in any of these chairs in, like, any way. That was super, super weird, but thankfully we got it. But yeah, I found a flying glitch in the game, so I'll have to make a short of that to release tomorrow. How's it going? It is going well, now that I managed to find a glitch in the game, interestingly enough. And I've already knocked out like 3 trophies tonight. They were all easy ones. And the sad thing is, this is honestly way more interesting than my job, so... or more entertaining to me, at least. I need to see if anyone's writing a guide yet for the game, because if not, I can definitely jump on that. Or join in on one, maybe. Alright, we're 20% of the way in. Let's go. Heard you down at the Tea of Tranquility today. I didn't know that's what it was called. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Wasn't so tranquil there yesterday, I can tell you. Oh, was there a bar fight, but it was angry British grandmothers fighting over tea instead? It got downright feisty, and that's where you're going to end it at? You're not going to tell me more until I get 40%, I guess? I don't even know if I'm cleaning in, like, the most efficient way either, which is the sad part of all this. Alright, got that area. Still not the entire floor. And the welcome mat was something, of course it was. Oh, the hinges, of course, are going to be individual objects. I'm sure that means the doorknobs will be as well when we get to those here. Right, the actual house is definitely going faster than the outdoor chairs were. Okay, that part's good. Now we just got to get the exterior of the door. Again, not sure how it got this dirty. Is it just people flinging tea all over the place? I guess that's a possibility. And I guess that actually is a real possibility that that could be what was happening here, and that's why it got dirty. But, oh, there's random handprints in it, so that happened afterwards. So yeah, it seems like there easily could have been a fight here. So relaxing, though. And 25%. Perfect. Already 25% of the way in. We're only like 10 minutes into this job, I think. Actually, we're like 15 minutes into this job, I think. But part of that was just messing around with the gnomes and finding that glitch in the game that was interesting. I wonder if in real life it'd be better just to clean from, like, the top first, and hope that some of the water cascades down and cleans the lower parts. And conversely, if you clean the bottom first and then clean the top, wouldn't the dirt just trickle down into the lower areas? If they want to do realistic power washing simulator whenever the third one comes out, if they ever make a third one, that's something they could do. And that would actually probably get really annoying. So maybe I shouldn't give them that idea. That actually seems like it could get quite annoying. I don't know, maybe they'd only make one trophy, like finish one level with true ultra-realism power washing mode on. And hopefully they'll also have a collector's edition with that, where you get a power washer and a suit for like $500 as the collector's edition. And like a stuffed cat or something. Maybe I should switch to the yellow nozzle. Green isn't doing as much in here as it was. Forgot that you have Little Nightmares 1, haven't started that one. I think that one's harder, from what I understand. Like, that one I think is supposed to be harder. Or at least its DLC is. And that one I'm not sure even has a platinum. That one might be the one that's just, completion. Well, we might as well just walk in circles now around here. See how much we can get, or just walk back and forth if we hit the scissor lift. And then we hit the other obstacles, so I guess that's not going to work either. I'll be curious to see what DLCs we end up getting for this game, because I'm sure they're already planning on them. We get like a Star Wars DLC or something. I'm actually very surprised we didn't get something like that, or like a Marvel DLC maybe, or DC DLC. I definitely see them doing something like one of those. If they were able to get the SpongeBob and Back to the Future licensing, then they should be able to do ones for other popular series like that. It would probably sell better than the modern Disney movies and such if they were to do anything for Star Wars. Imagine they have a DLC job where it's clean the entirety of Walt Disney theme parks. Like clean the entirety of Disney World. That'd be something. That would take months probably to do, so maybe I should not give them that idea. Then again, it's not like they're probably watching this, but still probably should not give them that idea. Doesn't have a platinum, it has one tough trophy to beat the game in under an hour and you can't die. You can cheat a little with it. Oh, okay. Yeah, next videos I need to work on are the Call of Duty 2 Big Red One video, which I think that one's not going to take too much to put together, because that was such a simple achievement list. Barnyard will take longer, though, because there was a lot going on with Barnyard. And Retro Achievements, for some reason, doesn't seem to let you sort by when you earned the achievements in a game, which is kind of strange. That's been a feature we've had on PSN Profiles for forever, but doesn't seem to be a thing for that. That, and I've got the couple of banning challenges to edit, but those don't take that long to put together, so get around to those at some point. Alright, 36%. So we should be getting some more lore here in just a second. We'll find out exactly why people got into a feisty, brutal combat here at the tea house. They said a bunch of old English grannies must have gotten mad about something and started spilling tea everywhere. That's the best guess I can get. Even though I've started to have tea grow on me a little bit, like I've started to like it more ever since we were in Japan. It started to grow on me a bit. I'll still prefer coffee, though. On 39%. Can we hit 39? All right, that's 39. Can this spot over here get us to 40%? You can pause the game, exit, and upload your save to the cloud. Oh, okay, so it's technically permadeath, but it's technically not permadeath at the same time. It's technically permadeath, but it's basically an optional permadeath. Alright, 40%, so let's find out what else happened here. 95% of it was due to this huge fella from the boonies. Should have seen him. He had the silhouette of a Sasquatch and the karmic footprint of an angry wasp. Yeah, wasps are just like Satan's little minions, same with fire ants. They exist purely to harass people, and don't seem to serve any, like, actual purpose for anything, so... I'm sure that they technically have a purpose in nature, but it doesn't seem like they do. It seems like they only exist to harass people and sting them for no good reason. Not like honeybees that actually serve a purpose. Same thing with hornets. Hornets are just evil for no good reason. Yeah, so then it's technically permadeath, but not really permadeath, which is the way I would prefer it. Because I did that with Killzone Shadowfall back in the day, which it's like... It's been funny because I've seen so many people posting now about how, like, you know, instead of getting Halo on the PS5, why couldn't we have just gone and gotten, you know, a new Killzone game, a new Infamous game, a new Resistance game? You know, those other beloved old classic franchises that we're just never going to seem to get anything else from. I'm sure there's others, like another PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Like, shockingly, we've never gotten that, even though they could easily do something with that in the modern day. I don't know, maybe they got sued by Nintendo or something back in the day for it being a Battle Royale type of game. Well, not even a Battle Royale type of game, just a fighting game with different characters. So maybe they got sued over it or something, I don't know. Still glad I got that platinum back in the day, though. It was a pretty fun game. But no, that wouldn't be the problem, though, because they've done Nickelodeon All-Stars Battle Royale a few times. They've done 2 of those Nickelodeon fighting games, so clearly they can get away with stuff like that, or do stuff like that, so... Found Little Nightmares 1 has a PS5 enhanced version with a separate trophy list, but still no platinum. Dang, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a Killzone game in however many years. We haven't had an Infamous game in over 10 years. Same with Killzone with that. Have we had a new Jak and Daxter game? Like an actual new Jak and Daxter game? Not these, you know, re-releases and streaming service versions of old ones? We've had one new Ratchet and Clank, which is, I guess, better than nothing, because we had that, like, back when this console released. Haven't had a Resistance game since Resistance 3, at least not a new one. Unless the one on the Vita came out, or not Vita, unless the one on the PSP came out after that or something, which it could have. Let's go with the yellow nozzle. I think we're going to need it here, because it seems like the green isn't getting the job done quite as well. See, I could definitely get another of those, another PlayStation All-Stars game. Little Big Planet, we haven't seen a true Little Big Planet game. I know we got the Sackboy game, but I don't think we've seen a true Little Big Planet in a while. Haven't had an Uncharted game, of course, in 10 years at this point, even though that one at least kind of makes sense because the franchise was ended where it did. I can kind of understand that one, so I'm not really mad about that one. Of course, haven't had a Fallout game in 7 years. At this point, it'll be 7 years next month, I believe. Haven't had a new Rockstar game in 7 years this month, since Red Dead 2. I don't really count those other versions of GTA for that. Somehow Sucker Punch is doing. I don't think we'll ever get another Infamous game. Another Sly game. We haven't got another Sly game either. Almost forgot about Sly. But yeah, now they're just focusing on Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotai. I'm not sure if we will. But at least, like, hand off the games to someone to do a remaster of them, or a remake, or something. There were so many other classics, and I mean, Guerrilla's just focused on Horizon at this point, instead of going back to Killzone, which actually was a really pretty good series. Just never quite hit the levels of something like Halo. Hey, sweet. We're almost 50% of the way through our first job of the night. And is there also stuff all the way on the outside? Not really, so... Get this little interior. Not picking up on Sly either. Oh yeah, I don't see them ever doing that, even though it would be great if they did. Just give us an epilogue to that franchise and, like, let us see how it chooses to end. You know, something that people actually want. Remember the 30 Lego set you got a few days ago? Apparently the stuff in it had $150 to $200 worth. Nice, nice. Very nice. So make a good profit off of it, or hold on to it for now and wait till it goes up in value. Alright, that's good. Guess we'll get more lore when we hit 60%. Find out exactly what else happened here. And now it sounds like there was just a bar fight, pretty much, from someone who showed up from out of town. Extend the washer a little bit there. Hopefully we can get all these little tight spots. And the outer trim, of course. Some of the stuff you want to keep for yourself, but some things you can that need to complete in it. Okay, gotcha. That's pretty awesome, though. At least get some stuff you can sell, get some stuff to keep. I don't know, I don't really feel like buying any Legos right now. I'd like to if I had infinite money, but I'm not really desperate to buy anything at the moment. Wait and see if maybe they have sales for, like, Black Friday or anything like that. So I actually get Black Friday off this year, thankfully, so... I was very surprised to hear that, because I thought for sure they wouldn't give us an extra day off like that. This one's got some stuck-on dirt, that's for sure. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like, cover everything in soap first and then spray it. I wonder if that's what the game is kind of wanting me to do this time around, since the soap is technically unlimited, but it doesn't just instantly clean stuff the way it does in the original game. Okay. Another area cleared. Actually, in fact, let's try that. Adaptive nozzle? What? Okay, that's new. I don't know if I like that very much, because it doesn't seem to do that well with cleaning, but it is kind of cool to have. Now there's an adjustable nozzle to use, which is a choice, and it makes sense. So let's just see what happens if we just suds everything up first. See if that makes things clean faster. See how much we're actually allowed to put on the screen at once. It doesn't... I guess it maybe means we can clean stuff from a little further away. It doesn't seem like it's making all that much of a difference, in all honesty. Yeah, like, it doesn't really feel like it's doing that much. Maybe a little bit better. Yeah, maybe it does give you a little bit more distance on the nozzles, but not really sure it's going to be all that worthwhile. I'll probably use it at times, but it doesn't seem like it's going to make a huge difference in this game. Which is unfortunate, because I mean, I'm kind of glad they changed it from the first game, because in the first game you had to keep buying it if you wanted more of it, and it was so limited in capacity, but it actually was really useful, because it could really easily clean little things. And I guess there's only one type of soap as well that just works on, like, all surfaces now, instead of 5 or 6 different types of it that only worked on one surface each. Like one that worked on metal, one that worked on wood, one that worked on fabric, etc. Trying to get used stuff. Of course, definitely hunt for duplicates. Need to make a platform on Whatnot. Best place to be a seller. Garage sales. There's people that'll sell an entire Lego bin for like 150 bucks or something. Not. Yeah, very true. They probably wouldn't know that they have something good in it. They're just selling it. But they also might not have anything good in it. Now, if you're just like trying to build a Lego army or something, maybe you just buy like a pack of minifigures or something that are Star Wars military. Aqua Regis, if you're free to wash down your shooting gallery at the carnival. Alright, so we got a carnival booth. That one should come fairly quickly compared to this one, and the billboard. Billboard ended up taking a lot longer than I thought it would yesterday. It was easy enough, obviously, but it took a lot longer than I expected it to. And I found out that Stalker 2 is coming out on PS5 at some point, maybe in November. That's what Lizard Guy told me, so might be worth looking into that, because he thinks it's a little bit like a Fallout game from what I've played of it, though definitely not the same by any means. And we played a little bit of it when I was down there in Florida, so we'll see about that, maybe. Could be interesting. I don't think those Platinums are usually all that long, because there's like 3 or 4 of them up there, and none of them are super long. All like easy to medium difficulty, probably more medium difficulty. Almost got this little area done. Nope. Still something there, probably in the crack. Okay, it does look like it's going to work well on Windows, so maybe we use this on like certain tougher surfaces like Windows. Or just anywhere where it's just more stuck on grime or something. Okay, got that. That bottom area, perfect. And get the underside here. Alright, got that. The outside there. Outside up here. Alright, that was all simple enough, so almost to 2/3 of the way through this job. Someone who bought $4,000 or $4,500 of Lego minifigures and got over 13,000 worth. That's awesome. Hey, Cassie, this stream is YouTube featured? I don't think so, because I don't have a lot of views, so I don't think it's featured. I would think I'd have a lot more views if it was, so... Because it says I've only got like 2 or 3 people in here. I'm also very surprised that YouTube would feature a stream of power washing. Unless that's something that people actually want to see, which I suppose is entirely possible. Ah, I didn't get the exterior here, that's what I missed. Set it for you. And maybe it is somehow, and just no one's clicking on it because it's, you know, power washing, and that's not interesting to many people out there. Who knows? 2/3 of the way through this job, finally. And let's get this little interior area cleared up. Is the door cleared? Yeah, door's good, and doorknob and everything. Window's good. I'm just looking in the upper screen. The outside of this is not, so that's the upper parts of it. Ah, the ladder. My old friend. Ladder was always the main thing we used to climb with in the original game. I definitely just heard something in the background, so... I don't know if there's a random, like, animal stalking us or something, which I guess wouldn't surprise me if there was, because that could make for some interesting lore, because they're making it sound like there's a Sasquatch or something on the loose. Or the idea of one, at least, so... Didn't Power Wash 1 have some bug trophies? It did. I think they fixed everything by the time the game, like, by the modern day. I think they fixed everything. What a view, huh? Gotta love working to that backdrop with rushless, all snow-covered and serene. Is that the volcano? Yeah, isn't the volcano here somewhere? One that nearly, like, destroyed the world? Let's use the sort of medium length on this. Should be good enough now that we're up close and personal like this. Alright, so that's 70%. Yeah, the first game did have some bug trophies, and this one... The gnomes are definitely a little bit buggy in this one, and I'll show you guys again what I figured out that you can do with them. It's a very interesting little glitch. It definitely seems like something you'd find if you were a speedrunner or something, but I'm not really sure it would help all that much with speedrunning. Just the kind of random things they find that... issues with the game's code and whatnot, I guess, or maybe they put it in intentionally, I don't know. Okay, there's definitely sounds of an animal or something in the background here, but I don't know where it is. I assume it's whatever that Sasquatch is that they were talking about in the thing earlier, the person that walked in from the boonies. Once we get to 75%, I'll show off that little glitch here. We're almost there. Hope it's all fixed now because I want to go for the platinum. I think a lot of it is. Like, I don't think there's still anything glitched with it that I'm aware of, unless something's been, you know, broken since, like, the last update or something from the base game. But I haven't heard of it happening in any way, so... Okay, so now that we're at 75%, I'm going to go show that off. So, this is a glitch that I call Gnome Flight. Yep. And you can kind of guide yourself in whatever way you want to go, which is even crazier. So yeah, Gnome Flight. I'll call it that. I don't know if I found it or if someone else found it first. But for now, I'm just coining it the Gnome Flight. I could see this potentially being useful in some, like, bigger jobs down the line. Like, if you have a really, really, like, tall building or something you have to clean. I could potentially see it being used there. If it could get you up to the top faster. if there's even a gnome present on certain levels, which I don't even know if this is a universal glitch or if it's just in this one level. They might patch that, yeah. Not if no one else reports it, though. I'll have to post a short tomorrow of that and just see if anyone else has found that glitch yet. If not, I get to coin it my own, get to name it after whatever I want. Which is exciting, because I usually don't get to be the one that finds, like, unique glitches and stuff in games. Even though games sometimes do weird things, so... you were looking on the internet about Phase 2 Captain Rex minifigure that came with the Venerator set. And then they put him in the Microfighter. Yeah, I have that Microfighter. I need to get maybe a couple more. Well, I don't know if I really need to get a couple more of those. Maybe get like one more of them and keep it sealed. Yeah, that pissed off a lot of people when they did that. Because it's like suddenly... That's one of the few sets that's dropped in value now, was that Venerator, because the main reason everyone wanted it was for that figure. So it's probably dropped in value as a set. So that minifigure for $200 or $300. Yeah, and... I'm sure that they were not happy when they announced that they were putting him in a different set. Of course, the rest of us were happy that we finally got him for a reasonable price. Although nowadays, it wouldn't surprise me if LEGO does that more often, where they just put a unique minifigure inside of a set that's super expensive. Because I'm sure the Death Star has some unique figures. It better have some good unique figures for that price. Alright, 80%, so we're not getting any more lore, I guess, so that's fine. But we're up to 80%, so that's good. Well, I hope you guys had a good Sunday. If you did anything fun, let me know. I just laid around the house. I slept pretty late today, because I got up... Didn't sleep super well in the hotel on Friday, so... Ended up just sleeping pretty late today. Nope, there's more over here. It's only at 81% though, so this last little bit of this is going to take a while. Alright, that's cleaned. The outside of this window should be cleaned here in a second. I might need to extend the washer in here. Glad you sold your figure back in 2023 for that much money. That's still pretty good, though. Just that amount of money off of a single minifigure. It's now kind of worthless. Hand starts to cramp up after a while. That is true. That is the one sort of downside to this game. But I feel like that can happen with a lot of games if you play them for too long. Alright, let's just suds this whole area up because I think the soap is going to help with cleaning certain rougher surfaces like this. Except that it looks like the water is just like running down now, so maybe it doesn't help. Okay, did the soap, like, go down with the water? If so, that's kind of cool, so it does have that level of physics to it. Definitely a more complicated in certain ways type of game, even if it is a little bit nicer on completion criteria. And it'll give you the completion when you have a little bit less done than you did in the first game. Again, that temple job at the end of the first game is just absolutely insane how much they make you do there. I wonder if Illusion's doing this as a Platinum video and if he's, like, already done with it or anything. Probably, because he tends to just get through these games crazy fast. there, and is that too far away? I think it is. Of course it is. Okay, that's all good. Only 82%, unfortunately, so about this window. Let's get this window cleaned up. Yeah, it looks like for the windows, the water, I guess it has some spray in it, so it just does cascade down, cleans it a little more efficiently. Kind of cool, though. And it does seem to make some of these areas clean off a little bit more easily, which is good. Alright, got it. How satisfying. Nothing too crazy for you. Went to Aunt's house yesterday, as usual. Nothing, unfortunately, slept until 5 p.m. and watched AFV. Figures brand new condition selling for much less than what you sold it for. Oh, yeah. If you had it in, like, mint condition, you could have sold it for a lot more, but if you had kept it now, you'd only be selling it for, like, 20 bucks, maybe. Probably less than that, actually. Unless you could, like, prove that it came from that one particular set, maybe. Found the newer one to be better, so it's a win-win. It's like $7 on Amazon. Mother isn't happy because the kitten broke their new blinds. Aww. Kitten just wanted attention. I think that means they just want some attention. No, I don't know really anything about owning a cat because I never have. And, oh, there it is. Got it. Right, let's get the entryway. We're at 83%. Yeah, I mostly just laid around. I was catching up on some stuff I had to watch. Heated up some leftover random food items, all that kind of good stuff. Not even just heated it all up. I did cook some other stuff, but it was all just mostly leftover stuff. QT nearby, a lot of their drink machines were down this morning, so I ended up having to get Dr. Pepper, which, I mean, I love Dr. Pepper, but I'm trying not to consume much in the way of sugar, so couldn't get any. Most of their diet drinks were down, at least all the ones I actually like, so alright, got that. And there's still these little, like, corners right there, so maybe I won't have to get these tiny little dots and can just get the outside. Alright, almost up to 85% now. Alright, 85%, let's go. And, yep, there's still a little bit more down here, so let's get that. And get the crack here. Got it. The underside. And we got to get the interior of this flower bed. I haven't gotten that part yet. Looks like there's small bits inside of these parts of the brick. Ooh, those are going to be potentially annoying. Okay, got that. Got that. And we got one more window up there to get, but shouldn't be too bad. I think we're just going to have to climb up top again. It was way better condition, could have sold for $250, plus yours was the older one, which has lost value. Chasing a ladybug. That's like my dog when he just, like, sees a bright, shiny object of any kind, or even just, like, a little bug or something and feels the impulse to chase after it. For how dumb he is, he's got very good eyesight. Very good, like, hunter instincts to some degree. Very gentle most of the time. This looks like the last major area of this teapot, so getting close to another job being done, which is good. %. Let's go. Let's get that up to 90% here in the next 30 seconds. So yeah, not a huge job, but kind of a weird design in places, so it took a little bit longer. Again, I'm still not sure exactly how useful the soap's going to end up being. It's definitely going to have its uses. I'm just not sure if it's the most helpful thing in the world in this game, at least compared to, like, the first one. Alright, that's cleared. And 90%. Let's go. And up here as well, yep. Now get the outside of the smokestack. Or the spout. Well, technically both. Alright, that one's almost clean, so we'll get the front of it here in a second. How far are we into the stream already? God, we're already almost an hour in. Haven't even finished this first job, so this game definitely does seem like it's going to be longer. So yeah, we're almost an hour in and haven't finished a single job, even though I'm close to being done with it. Now, part of that was just messing around trying to get the miscellaneous trophies that were being buggy. Dang! And now we fall down, because of course we do. Stuff over here, so hopefully this side too. Can I actually lower this at this point? Okay, so if I move it at all, it actually just goes ahead and changes, so that's good to know. This thing's kind of janky too, though. It doesn't work super well compared to just using the ladder to get on top of stuff. Just flying around with a freaking gnome. Which was pretty funny, not gonna lie. Pretty unique little glitch. Let's get him off the roof, though, so I don't go flying again in a wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, there's no enemies or anything in the game, so we don't have to worry about anything like that, but... How long until they add in, like, a Battle Royale mode between you and, like, 3 other people, or even, like, 10 other people. Which I don't know if you'd be fighting each other, or just fighting to clean, like, the most of an object out of the group. I could totally see him doing that, actually, like... Get an object, and your goal is to clean as much of it as possible compared to the other people in the lobby in a certain amount of time. That actually wouldn't be awful. It'd be easy to boost at least if they did end up doing that. Or maybe they turn into like random Call of Duty matches and you end up having to like straight up hunt down other players and squirt them like a squirt gun fight that we used to have as kids. Those days were always a good time. Nerf gun fights were always more of our thing, though. Like me, Lizard Guy, and some of our other friends. That was always sort of our thing, was just like Nerf gun fights. Did that at a few birthday parties, which were always really fun. 95% here in just a second. 95%. Alright. Oh, that wasn't 95%. I thought that was going to be 95. Premature celebration. And get that little corner in there. Got it. But football this next weekend should be interesting. We got to play Duke, and while that's a game that could be beatable, I don't particularly like our chances. We'll see, though. It's definitely more beatable than the one after it, or one of the two that's after it. Got FSU at I think FSU, they might be, I can't remember if we're playing them at home or if we're going down there to play, but either way, that one's at least a beatable one, even though I'm not overly confident. Louisville's going to kick our asses, so that's not going to be a fun day. Bench for all the times we beat them with Deshaun. Then Furman, that should be an easy win. And I say that, and we struggled badly with Troy, so I don't feel very confident even about Furman. They're actually going to show up wanting to win, and our guys could not care less at this point. 95%, let's go. Which means that the little markers start showing up on screen just to make life a little easier. Hope the Black Friday game stuff will be good this year. There's always good deals on, like, PSN usually. At least there are most years, so yeah, hopefully some good deals on there. Maybe I can get a Switch 2 for a good price, even though I'm not, you know, overly keen on getting one. It's not the biggest thing in the world to me if I don't. As long as my original Switch is still working, I don't have much of a serious need for the Switch 2, because what's on it, just like Mario Kart World, which is, I think a lot of people are not the biggest fans of certain aspects of it. Some of the changes they made in the multiplayer. I know that Donkey Kong, the new Donkey Kong game, is pretty good, though. And then adding the GameCube games to the, whatever you call it, to the catalog for if you're subscribed to their service or whatever it is going to be big. Because there's a lot of old GameCube games people want to play. Double Dash, big one. Smash Melee, if they bring that back, I'm sure is going to get plenty of support. I think Smash Melee, I think that all those games actually have achievement sets with retro achievements at this point. Which I'd be actually very curious to see how hard some of that is. Because I've never been good at fighting games, including Smash. Like, I'm better at that one than other ones, but it doesn't mean I'm actually any good at it. And I think it would probably not go particularly well if I tried to go for that kind of an achievement list. Even though I like the game, I was more of a Brawl person, though. I grew up more on Brawl than I did on Melee. There's stuff up here. There's actually a lot up here. Okay. You might splurge this Black Friday. I probably won't buy anything too insane unless there's just something really good, like maybe a Lego deal or something. That's something I might be worth it, because that stuff will go up in value, so it's one thing that might be a little more worth splurging on. I have to check the gun stores and see if they're, like Palmetto State Armory or Classic Firearms, if they're selling anything that's a really good deal that looks good. They sometimes do. Alright, got that. 97%. That done right there, so 98%. Should about have this upper part. Yep, there we go. 98%. Let's get this little area down here. This whole area. I'm also excited because we're having a potluck on Friday, so that's going to be fun at work for Halloween. So I don't know if anyone's going to be dressing up or anything like that, but we're having that, so that's going to mean lots of good homemade food items and probably random store-bought items, but hey, it's food that I didn't have to prepare myself, which I'll bring my chocolate palmiers. That's sort of my go-to for stuff like that nowadays. It's from the Destiny 2 cookbook, or just Destiny cookbook in general. Because it's probably one of the easiest desserts in all of those to make, even though there are other good desserts in those cookbooks. It's probably one of the easiest ones to make. It's only like 3 or 4 ingredients. Nothing super expensive either, so... And yep, that's actually good now. So just this one right here. So I'm gonna have to clean it with this nozzle. 98%. Come on, you gotta be in close by now. Okay, got the outside. Don't have... Okay, red part's done. Wooden part isn't done. Oh, wooden part's good. Okay, so we're actually going to need to drag this over here, aren't we? Yep. That's fine. That's what it's here for. Alright. Yep, that's clean. So then there's this red thing over here. And I guess it's on the underside, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably where it is. Oh, still at 98% somehow, though. Like, is there really that much under here that I haven't cleaned? Oh, yeah, there sure is. Sure is a lot in there that I haven't gotten, so let's go get that. Also started playing Fallout 76 again, just working on some guide updates and stuff before the big Ohio update comes in. The Burning Springs update, so that's going to be a very interesting one. I'll be very curious to see if I got anything correct. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see if I actually got any predictions correct on that. Because that's going to be the first time where we've gotten new content in a state that I talked about on that. Which I really need to start working on the next one of those lore videos, which is going to be released around the time of Season 2 coming out of the show. Which the next one I want to do, as I've talked about before, is Florida. Okay. And now, what else is even... Oh, this thing. Oh, you know what? I probably haven't cleaned this window really at all. Yep. Forgot about this area. That's why we're still so low on percentage. Haven't cleaned this window at all yet. Physical collection is a mess. You want to get Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to stop caring about buying games. You got too many. Stock's going down on Black Friday. Saying we'll play Hogwarts as well. I have so many games lying around, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't have a lot of places to store all of mine at this point. Like, I've got some space for them, for physical stuff. I don't really have a dedicated area for the PS5 games, even though most of them are digital at this point. Alright, we finally gonna have our first job of the night cleared here in a second. Okay, I was about... Did I not clean one of these chairs? Oh, I sure didn't finish one of these chairs. Okay. Surprised that I missed any of this, because I thought I cleaned this thing pretty thoroughly. Didn't clean this one either? What did I miss on this one? Oh, the cushion missing a little bit behind the gnome. Okay. Well, I'm surprised I missed those, but alright. We're actually still not down to our last 3 objects yet, which is a little surprising. Okay, that's done. Ooh, I do see a couple little spots down here. And that's good. Then is there anything else right around here? Not that I can see. Huh. Is it in, like, down here? Toward the edge? Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, got it. Man. This one's not being very nice, though. This one's being pretty picky compared to some of the other ones. Okay, so now just the window and the thing around it. Alright, 3 things left. Let's go. Final 3 objects. Two more objects. One more, and what's our last one? Got it. Alright, that was a very long job. Got way too many games right now. I have like 8 games sitting next to you right now. Problem is, not many people are buying games, at least the ones you have. So many PS3 discs, getting more on Christmas. Oh, nice. Well, that was a very long job. But some of that was me screwing around with the whole gnome flight glitch that I found, and I don't know if I discovered it or not. We'll find out. Too many PS3 games lying around. What game's she trying to sell? You have restored the balance of the tea room. Stop by anytime for a steamed bun and lavender tea on the house. Hey, we get free shit out of it, so I'm not going to complain. Can't complain about free stuff. I do not complain about free things. Even if they're not very good, if I get them for free, I'm not going to complain about them. Okay, so what can we buy from our washer equipment? So we have both that's a light duty, so we have a medium duty washer, but don't have the soap nozzle for it yet. Let's get the soap nozzle for it. And the extension for it. So we can buy furniture and stuff in there. Are there not any other... Huh. So there aren't any other options for that yet, surprisingly. There are other clothing options, which I might as well knock this one out, because it's only 25 bucks. Oh, wait, you know what? I want orange. Let's go orange. Yes, we gotta go an obnoxious orange color for back when Clemson was actually a capable school, capable of winning. We don't have one for washer yet, but we do have orange and orange. 2 easy trophies for the price of 1. Easy enough. 2 easy trophies. Shooting gallery job. This looks fairly easy. Even though it's $1,000, though. Saw 2009, all the PS3 COD games, PS3 Telltale, Lego Harry Potter games, COD Cold War, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, Wolfenstein New Order, Skylanders, Prince of Persia. Dang, you got a bunch of stuff. So put them on Mercari or something. Besides all the other games are games that are going to be tough to sell, yeah. And I mean, my GameStop, I doubt even takes PS3 games anymore. Okay, so we have to complete the Bigfoot target first. That is our goal on this job, is the Bigfoot target. That is our miscellaneous trophy, so... Ooh, I see how this could actually be a little bit annoying, because... he's moving, and I'm not sure if there's a way to stop him. At least it's a clean thing first object this time, and not a clean last. Cleaning first is always easier. Oh! Got it! Oh man, that was a silver trophy. Let's go. Well, that was easy. Alright. Let's get to the cleaning. See if we can do it with the green nozzle, if at all possible. Oh, I said this was going to be an easy job, but there's actually a lot of stuff going on in here, so... Oh yeah, this one isn't going to be quite as simple as I thought it was. It looks like there's a lot going on in here. So yeah, it does seem like this game's going to have a lot of longer jobs, unfortunately. I mean, not necessarily unfortunately, but I guess unfortunately for when I'm choosing to stream it, because we get stuck on one job for like an hour, so we only get through 3 or 4 in a night. But hey, I'll take the easy trophy, so... I mean, nothing in this, like, entire trophy list is really difficult, so... just kind of time-consuming for everything, which is sort of how the first game was, aside from the challenges that you had to do. But you don't have to do that in this one. Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy can give them to GameStop. I want to make cash. Yeah, gotcha. Gonna give you some breadcrumbs and a used toothpick. Yeah, unfortunately that's about all they'll give, even though something like SOOO is actually pretty valuable. And even some of those Telltale games are actually valuable, I think. Some of the ones that maybe had, like, got delisted and stuff, I think some of those are actually worth something these days. Especially if you got, like, Minecraft or something. The Telltale Minecraft Season 1, I think, is worth a good bit. Washing my stall with an actual proper power washer is like taking a monster truck onto the bumper cars. I have no idea how those two things correlate. Circular cleaning. Which, speaking of that, we actually get like a circle washer at some point. We don't have it unlocked yet, but we get that at some point. We should now have everything unlocked for this particular washer, or everything important for it. I think there's maybe like one attachment left for it, which will get us a trophy once we purchase it, so that's good. I always love the county and state fairs, mostly for the exhibits and the food and the games. I don't ever do them for the actual... whatchamacallit, I don't do them for the rides, because I don't really trust the rides at these places. And like a full-blown amusement park, sure, even though I'm a little bit concerned with Carowinds, given how many issues they had with rides having, like, serious structural issues recently in the last few years. And it makes me not so confident in going there to ride anything ever again. And I'm sure maybe it's fixed now, but... I don't want this to turn into Final Destination, so yeah. So often as they get more Legos in stocks, even when we saw some of the Funkos not giving GameStop anything, oh yeah. They gave half the amount the stuff is worth. It would be nice if they did, but never will. don't know. You guys can message it maybe on Twitter if you don't want to share it in here. Yeah, you guys can... I think you guys are both on Twitter, so just... I know you guys are both on Twitter, duh. X, whatever you want to call it. That's a good place to private message these days. Oh yeah, so basically there's going to be a bunch of random objects that we're going to probably have to shoot to show other objects, which is a cool idea, by the way. I'm not against that. That's a cool idea. It just could be a little bit annoying for cleaning everything. Okay, get the floor here. We're up to 10%, so that's good. Meow. Meow. They're all cats. Yeah, they're all cats. God, someone in this place hates cats, apparently, if all the targets are cats, unless they're all losing point targets or something. Yeah, unless they're all the targets you get for... If you hit them, you lose points, then someone really hates cats. Surprised the Powerwash... Well, I guess I'm not that surprised it's strong enough to set it off. It depends on what kind of weapon you're getting. Is like a cork gun, a dart gun, a water gun... Or like a 22 or a BB gun strapped down to the table. I remember one time at the North Carolina State Fair... they used to, and I don't know if they still have it, but they had one of their midway games was a turkey shoot, and they actually gave everyone a 20-gauge shotgun. Obviously, it was strapped down in a certain way so no one could take it or anything like that. And you shot at a target to see who could get the best shot on it, and the winner either got a turkey or a t-shirt. Just we need a Powerwash or an attraction that was already brazenly wasting water. So it is a water shooting gallery. Okay, so is this Kevin person going to be the enemy of the game? Don't get your cob on. I feel like that could be taken out of context. Alright, so we might have found an enemy in this game, this Kevin person. Who's being an asshole for no reason. Although, to be fair, if this was a water gun shooting gallery, then how the hell did it get this dirty? Yeah, this is a water gun shooting gallery. How the hell would it get this dirty? You're gonna have water shooting everywhere at all times. So that is at least a fairly good question of lore here. You have some games you would like, depends on the prices. Nah, there's not many games that I want out of your list currently, unfortunately. I still own a fair number of physical PS3 games. Because I actually bought one about a month ago. I haven't played it yet, though. That if I can get streaming on PS3 to work again, I wouldn't mind going back and doing it on an alternate profile to get the Platinum Trophy again. It was one of my earliest Platinum Trophies, and I unfortunately sold off my copy for like $2 in the past, when it's now worth like $50, probably if it's brand new. Probably more than that if it's brand new. Not sure games you're selling or games you already own. Yeah, because most of it's stuff that I've already owned. Yeah, hopefully you guys can get some stuff sold off and get the games to people who want them. Trade around a little bit. It sounds like all of y'all have a lot of PS3 games. You want to... Maybe more games than you need physically. Or games that you're not really going to use again. But yeah, like that was a midway game that we had there. turkey shoot. Then we had, like, there were a few others that involved using weaponry. Like, there's the shooting the star minigame at those carnivals and stuff is insane, because it's the one where it's like, you get a BB gun, a full auto BB gun that shoots like a 100-round magazine, and you have to use those 100 BBs to shoot a star out of a paper target. But physics works against you in it, because the more that you hit it, the more it like moves the paper, and it won't always pierce the paper because it's just a BB. It's not like an actual bullet that's going to go through it. So it's not really ideal for that kind of a thing. I've come very close to winning that one before, but never have. Then there was one I won when I was a lot younger. It was a crossbow shooting game. So you shot a crossbow at a target, and if you managed to hit it, you won the prize. And I actually won that, and that's one of the ones with big prizes in it, so it was a hard shot. Okay. More cats. Oh, we got the whole outside to clean. That's probably why this one is so big. Okay, got the back wall cleared. Should be getting pretty close to that 20% by now. Oh, this one's not clean. Got it. Got it. Got it. I think all the cats are clean then, so that's good. Yeah, someone here clearly hates kittens and cats, so that's an interesting design choice. Unless those, again, are all just losing targets or something, which is also a possibility. There we go, got the ceiling done, let's go. Alright, 20%, and a new job is now available, cool. I've got a road sweeper into a real jam. Okay, that actually looks like a fairly short job for once, so we'll look at that one next for sure. Just maybe one can send the profile, don't have an account. Funny enough, was the first profile clicked on when you saw one for sale. Nice. A $10 off a 21 purchase. Nice. Don't want your name out there. Fair enough. Fair enough. If we lived in a perfect world, you'd show real name and where you live and your face. Yeah, fair enough. Like, I mean, my face is clearly out there. My first name is very much out there. The general area where I live is out there, though not the exact area. And get the trees up there. Still got a lot of ceiling up there to get as well, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. The exterior should clean pretty quickly, though. So that part of the volcano's done. A big part of the volcano's actually done at this point. Alright, get the base of the volcano statue here, get the floor. I wonder how long this water would take to go away, though, because, like, California I don't think is as humid as it is, like, down here, so it should dry a little bit faster, but I don't know. Hopefully the water goes away. It doesn't just start sitting there and attracting mosquitoes. And all the mosquito-borne diseases of evilness. Okay, get that little area, get that area. I have your face on profile. It's Tom from Tom and Jerry. Nice. Hey, Zinky. Some Switch games for sale. Maybe someday, but at the moment, I don't really have any Switch games I actually want. I mean, once I get the Switch 2, there will be so many old, like, GameCube games to play on it that honestly I'll be pretty much set. Can't wait to play some of the old classics on GameCube. What kind of trophies does this game have? Minecraft Story Mode is sold. Oh, yeah. What type of trophies does this game have? Mostly pretty easy ones. It's mostly just like clean this object first or this object last or clean this job using only a specific nozzle. There's no challenge mode trophies this time, so none of that stuff to worry about. They're all just tied to the career mode. So there's nothing particularly hard that I've seen so far, unless there ends up being like a super hard job later on. But in terms of just everything I've seen so far, I don't see anything all that difficult here. It's just the jobs do seem longer in this game, so do keep that in mind. Like, some of them at least seem longer. And you're going to want to change your control scheme early on, most likely, to the classic setting. I don't really like the new controls, so I changed it back to classic, and I definitely prefer that. Yeah, for the most part, it's just, like, very similar to the first game, but with no challenge mode stuff to do. Okay, clean the top of the pyramid here. Get the little gem. Gem's good. Kind of surprised something like that wouldn't have been the first thing to clean here. The Bigfoot target was a lot easier. Let's clean some of them prizes. Only at 25% though, which is crazy because it feels like this job shouldn't be as long as it is. Because it doesn't seem all that complicated. Soft 48, that's cheapest you've seen it for. That's about how much I paid for it, I think. Hey, Layan. Yeah, I think that's about how much I paid for it used off of Amazon back in, like, 2020 or 2021. I only found it because Ghost was looking for games, and he found it, and he didn't really want it at the time, so referred me to it, and I found it, and was able to buy it for a decent price. Saw 2, at least, not Saw 1, so I don't know about Saw 1, so... Yeah, that was Saw 2. I don't know what Saw 2 goes for these days. I'm assuming it's just as expensive, though. 'Cause that's one that, for a while, a lot of the trophy YouTubers were doing. Were doing both Saw games, or Saw 2, or just usually both games. Harry Potter years 1 through 4 and 5 through 7. Nice. Doesn't come with a specific case, only the disc. Which, that's all that some people care about, especially if they're going for the platinum in the game. That's what I did for the game that I purchased for PS3 that I might go back and redo on another account. Because it's arguably the best modern game in that particular franchise, so... could be interesting, but it's a franchise that hasn't had a new release since, like, 2014, so... that I actually did almost every platinum for. Only missed a couple of them. Because one of them had a stupid Facebook picture trophy. Which, if it wasn't for that one, I could do every game in the franchise. Hate when the lobby mixed bots with real players. So does that mean if it mixes both, that you can't get trophies in that lobby? Because if so, that's really, really stupid. Like, if that's what it does, then that's really stupid, because there's nothing you can really do about that. Because that would just ban you from getting trophies in certain lobbies just because the lobbies aren't full. So I hope you can still get trophies in bot lobbies, or like lobbies that have some number of bots in them. Kevin, do you know that I recycle my water? I don't think Kevin does. I've got trays that run along the bottom, constantly redirecting back into the spray guns. Well, that's a good way to do it then. It's probably not the most sanitary, but it's a good thing. Well, you shouldn't be consuming the water anyway, so it's probably fine. Yeah, if you're not drinking the water, that's probably fine. Explain why your gallery gets progressively dirtier? Dang, this guy's an asshole. This Kevin guy's a complete asshole. For, like, no reason. I mean, that would explain, actually, why it gets dirty like this, so I guess that could potentially explain that, to some degree. But damn, he's being a complete asshole for no good reason. Like, can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along? At least there's no Labubu's here, wherever the fuck that thing actually is. I know that South Park did an episode making fun of that in the most recent season. Alright, that floor is clear. I don't see where his little troughs are, though. Guess they're built into something somewhere and harder to see. That one rotates when you shoot it. This one doesn't seem to have anything special to it, but got the ground clear, so that's good. Okay, get the backside of this thing. It's all good. Backside of the target actually wasn't clean somehow. The underside of the counter, so let's get that. See, I'm assuming this Kevin guy is going to end up somehow being the enemy of the game. Or an enemy in the game. There might be multiple. God, we're only a third of the way through this job, though, which is crazy. It feels like this one is going faster, because it seems like we're just non-stop cleaning. Already did Batman, you know, he did Walking Dead. It says complete edition, but actually not. GameStop lied to you about it. Been playing Ninja Gaiden 4, currently third favorite single-player game. Very nice. How hard is it, Zinky? I know that those games are usually on the hard end of games, so... Alright, so we clean that shelf. There's also a UFO up here to clean. Yeah, it feels like we should be way further along, because, like... Is there really that much more dirt in here? And cleaning the outside maybe is going to take a while, but... Or at least be a lot of it, but it shouldn't take that long. And the next job looks like it's going to be a shorter one anyway. This wall's up to, okay, we're at 35% now, but that's still not really where I thought we'd be at by now. Okay, bottom of the shelf is good. Get the random stuffed animals in here. A little bit of wall over there that wasn't done yet. Yeah, it must be the outside then that's going to take up a large portion of this, because it seems like we've cleaned a vast majority of the interior of how slow the progress is actually moving. I don't have any jobs where things get, like, re-dirtied or something. Gonna remove the merman's gems now that they've been stolen. Use really strong glue, and I'm sure it'll be recovered soon. I didn't know you lost your gems somehow. That's unfortunate for you. And get the back side here, so that's 37%. But yeah, like I said, this area feels like it's going super slowly. Ooh, yeah, that's going to need something stronger, I think, to clean it. Let's soap the whole area up a little bit. Okay, the soap definitely helped there. It definitely helps to pinpoint the areas that still need to be cleaned. Alright, get the wall back here. Almost at 40%. Ceiling, the little prizes or giant prizes on the ceiling. It's quite hard, but so much fun. That's good to hear for the games. You guys trying to just figure out everything you're gonna buy. That's cool though. Hopefully you guys, Cassie gets stuff she wants. Sweet, you get to sell things that you don't want anymore, so everyone wins. Come on, let's get up to 40% here. We should be getting pretty close to that 40%. You know, we already have the next job available, so... And even though the trophies are often, like, specific to cleaning one object first or something, you still have to complete every single job entirely in this game, so you can't just speed run it necessarily. You still have to complete every single job. Alright, light's cleared, and we're up to 40. And what are they saying now? I have to bleach the bejazzle out of it every third Sunday. Okay. Never heard that word. Previously attributed the noxious smell to the power station. Oh, we're going to be cleaning a power station later or something? Well, he's going to be nice and at least give us a fair review, or give this guy a fair review, so maybe he's not going to be the villain of the game. Okay, that's all clean. So yeah, at least some of these objects clean really quickly. Get the rest of the volcano. Probably the upper part of it still needs. Yep. There's a plane up here that I haven't cleaned yet at all. Oh, it's the plane from the first game, the special, like, secret one that you clean later on in it. Sure is. And that's exactly what that is. I still remember cleaning that in the original game. Alright, get all the tires and everything on the bottom. engines, get the back wings. Oh, we got a light. That's good. I just try to clean in a sort of circular pattern here. That'll work. Alright, most of the plane's cleared. We'll get the rest of it later, though. Get that whole area. More shelving here, so get that. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, the game is generally less or more forgiving than the first one when it comes to actually cleaning every speck of dirt, but the jobs are bigger, so I guess it makes sense. Plushy display, clean that area. Oh, that's a little bumblebee and a little, I guess that's a pig or something. Ooh, well, there goes the UFO. Okay, he's cleaned. Get the outside of the water guns. Oh, yep, so we still got this whole outer area to clean, but some of this should go a little bit faster because this is probably a lot less complicated. And let's clean off the prize wall area. Of course, this is probably going to ruin these prizes because you need to throw them in a good dryer or something after this, I'm pretty sure. Alright, this thing's almost cleaned. Outside area, the little outside wall. Let's go up and down. And we're up to 44% already, almost to 45% by now, so starting to speed up a little bit here on the outside. Starting to speed up a little bit, thankfully. Get that part cleared. Wrong button. And now let's clean the outside of the ball rack. Every little satisfying ding is worth a bit of money as well. And if they're only worth like $1 each. You definitely get paid more in this game, but everything definitely costs more, so they put inflation into the game, which is interesting. Alright, got the little gate. Alright, now to clean the outside areas. Which again, should be a little bit faster. Computer's slowing down. Or wanted to be slow now. Usually mine doesn't, but occasionally it'll have a bit of slowdown if I got too many tabs or something open at once. Which is understandable enough. I mean, it's a machine, it's not perfect. Okay, that's coming along, 48%, getting close to that 50%. We'll see if we get any more lore drops, or if we don't get them until later. Even though it sounds like it was just an angry feud between a guy and an angry customer, a Karen, but the male version of a Karen. And we're at 50%. Let's go. 50% of the way through another job. I think with the exterior here, this one should start going faster now. I'm surprised Markiplier hasn't started playing this yet. I don't know if Iron Lung's just taking up too much time or what. Well, unless he's doing it on, like, the podcast channel or something. So satisfying as it now turns to a nicer, bright pink color. This old dirty, random dirt color. And we got a staircase here, so let's quickly get that cleaned off. Back wall's cleared, stairs are almost clear. Oh, audio cut out there for a second, that was strange. Is there more that I'm missing over here? Oh, there is. Okay, that's what I was missing. Perfect. 53%. Outside of that wall's cleared. It's mostly just the areas like behind some of the presents, it's looking like, that are not quite clean yet. Or not even presents, I call them presents, but they're technically prizes. Both start with a PR. And we're up to 54, so almost 55% here. So let's just get that upper area. Maybe that'll get us to 55, potentially. Almost. Let's get these cat toys and stuff cleaned up. Let's get the interior here cleaned up. I have to switch to the yellow nozzle at some point here, so that's fine. That 55%. Let's go. There's just not much more else to say on some of these except just like calling out milestones at this point. I mean, it is a very simple game at the surface. It's just, you know, power washing things. Almost got this whole area cleaned up, so clean from underneath as well as clean the inside of this wooden area. That's one of them. Okay, another one. This one, yep, got him, and the wall's good, so... Alright, so that's all of that. Just need this rope now. Okay, get that part. Yep. That's cleared. That area's cleared. Was that Deadpool game? Got it on disc, but funny you don't have a disc drive for the PS5 Pro. Played Deadpool on both PS3, PS4. Don't remember. You got the PS3 version before. I still haven't played that one, even though, like, I remember everyone started playing it when one of the Deadpool movies came out. Like, Deadpool Wolverine, was that the name of it? I'm probably pissed off a lot of people by not knowing that, but... Okay, rope's good. Now we just need the interior here. We'll get that upper ledge in there later on. That's not super important right now. Alright, let's go to the back. Yeah, if anyone else has started playing this game, definitely let me know what you're thinking of it so far. So I'm not sure if anyone else has, at least in the chat, that's started playing it. As of course, I've been enjoying the hell out of it so far. Very fun, simple, casual game to play. So given how low the view count is, I don't know yet if I'm gonna stream the entirety of this platinum run. Haven't decided yet about that, but we'll think about that for the future. Because if people aren't super interested in watching it, then I may just still make it into a platinum trophy video, just not stream every bit of it. Which again is fine, because obviously this is not the kind of game that everyone's into out there. It can be a little bit boring for some people. 60%, let's go. Apology accepted. Aw, they all made up, that's good. No more fighting here over something stupid. It was a carefully worded clarification, not an apology. Okay, then. And this just gets worse for them. Always the last word. So I guess we're going to get another bit of lore from them later on. Oh, right here, never mind. Not at all. Yeah, clearly he needs the last word there. Okay. At that point, I think you just block the dude and stop dealing with this. In all honesty, if you're the owner of this business, I think you just block the loser and just stop talking to him. Alright, we got a generator back here to clean. Not sure I'd want to be washing this right now while we're, you know, while stuff is in there running. Okay, most of the cable's clean, but... Okay, there it goes. Let's get the rest of this generator cleared up. Looks like it's only a handful of objects total, so that's good. Alright, the generator itself is good. Not the frame, though. Frame still needs a bit more. Come on, get that little part. There we go. Alright, generator should be good to go now, unless something else on it... No, doesn't look like anything else on its tracking, so that's good. Alright, we got one more wall to clear. And we'll probably still have the roof, I'm sure, but that should be easy enough. PS3 version gone down in price lately, seen them on eBay for 30, 35 bucks. That's good then. Barely played Deadpool. Hey, whenever you buy something at a cheap price, somehow it gets cheaper as soon as you get it. Today's... Yeah, I saw that. Red Dead 2's 7-year anniversary, which is crazy. I gave the PSN store just to see it free the next month. That's the worst when that happens. It doesn't happen too often, because I don't usually buy AAA games digitally. I haven't really bought any major AAA games recently. At least not on the PS5. I'm trying to think of what the last ones I got were, because, like, obviously Death Stranding, but that's technically PS4. And we'll do Death Stranding 2 at some point. And College Football 26, I guess that was technically considered a AAA game. I mean, I didn't do Borderlands 4, haven't gotten Battlefield 6 yet, haven't gotten Black Ops, well, won't be getting Black Ops 7 Day 1 this time, most likely. But I do want to see what the trophy list looks like and see if there's anything that's going to be insanely hard to do after, like, a certain amount of time has passed. Even though I don't expect the game to actually... I mean, I am kind of worried, like, do I need to get the Platinum sooner rather than later so that if there are any bugged trophies, they're more likely to actually fix them? Given that stuff's bugged out in Black Ops 6 and will probably never be fixed at this point, so... Maybe people need to start doing the Better Business Bureau route. It's like, you paid money for the game, so it should work the way that it's supposed to. Alright, we're 2/3 of the way through this job, thankfully, so it is progress, even if it's very slow progress. Exterior did not go as fast as I thought it would. Still very satisfying, though, and that's what matters. Might clean it from this side and see what else we can get done. That one's nearly cleaned. These two are nearly cleaned. The outside of this one here. Okay, that wall is good, so now it's just the stuffed animals and the little rope hanging them up. Okay, he's good. What about this part? Okay, and now this one, also the bit of rope up there. And we still got these ceiling areas to clean as well, so those are going to take a while, I think. Okay, perfect. All the stuffed animals there cleaned. And we're 70%, let's go. Yeah, Red Dead 2, 7 years old, and we surprisingly don't have a PS5 version of the game yet. Which, I mean, they kind of gave up on the online pretty quickly in that game, sadly. Which, I mean, in some ways, I guess it's kind of nice, because it means, like, sure, we didn't get any more DLC trophies for it, but think the game deserved better with its online support than it got. And then we're going to have GTA 6 next year, unless it gets delayed again, which honestly wouldn't surprise me at this point. But again, I'd rather delay a game and make sure it releases, like, really well than have it release in a broken state. Alright, let's get these stuffed animals up here, or balls, whatever they are. Lights looking better. This area's good. Okay, got that. And there's this interior area that still needs a good touch-up. And an exterior area that still needs a lot of work. And this one's ended up being a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. I didn't think they could make a shooting gallery have this much stuff to clean in it. Oh, does that say Powerwash? Oh, that's funny. That's interesting. So it's actually called Powerwash Simulator. That's kind of cool. Not gonna lie, that's actually pretty cool idea. So I guess that you get to shoot a replica power washer here, and that's what you're using to clean these targets and stuff with. So that's interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, still got that whole upper area that we gotta get, so... Get all the stuffed animals right there, and the wall, shelf. That little wall area cleared up. And then we still got the whole interior wall in there. I kind of forgot about that. UFO. Should be good with that. Let's go to the yellow nozzle. We want to make sure we get it. The yellow nozzle should be working a little bit better than that, honestly. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that whole back area is going to take forever, isn't it? Yeah, we're only at 72% somehow. Okay, so let's get these little back wall areas. You want that crab plush? I see lots of plushes in here I'd love to have. Of course, I collect all sorts of stuff, so... The table plushie is what this guy's called. That little interior area, then... Yeah, this one's not clean yet. That one is now. That one is. Okay, perfect. Up close and personal to clean these last few areas. It's just this shelf now. And this shelf. And the wall, of course. Wall still needs a bit more. Alright, get the pillar. Get that ceiling area. Ooh, there's a lot more to the ceiling then. And that's good. Extend that out a little bit. And there's still a handful of those plushies up there that aren't cleaned yet. And we got that whole area over there to clean, too, so... that wall should be pretty close to being done at this point, though. There we go. Got that. The washer at least seems to work at super close range in this game better than it did in the first one. Shelf's good. Now it's just the wall. Still needs a little bit. And that shelf's good. Now it's just the wall, which is that part up there. Alright, just get this done and this whole wall should be done. Then we can clean this interior wall area. It's still at almost 75%, so still nowhere near where I thought I'd be by now. Okay, got it. In the back sides of these trees. Bigfoot target. Let's clean the floor up here too because it hasn't been touched yet. Okay, that part's good. I'm gonna get the backs of all these trees. And the Bigfoot's still going up and down here. Kind of getting in the way there. And we'll track this all moves on. And that's 75%, so 3/4 the way there on this job. And the rest of the... okay, we got him. And the backside of the UFO over there. We'll get that in a minute. Yeah, this is Powerwash 2. Wish I could offer slightly more interesting commentary, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a power washing game. The jobs in this one are so much longer than the first game so far. Really aren't a lot in the way of shorter jobs, even if you can clean faster. That was me burping. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not, though. We had a bunch of random leftovers for dinner, so ripping up my leftovers. Okay, that ceiling's good. That's the beam. And we get this part over here. Should get us 77-ish%. The roof will give us at least a few percent, though, and that'll be quick, I think. I don't think there's too much to do with that, unless it's super complicated. What are y'all up to this week, I guess? We can talk about that now, whatever y'all are up to this week. Not horribly busy tomorrow, but definitely busy Tuesday, and probably busy a lot more of the week. But get this, like my job, like they kind of want people to hop on a call at 8 p.m. Eastern or 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, and it's like, hell no, that's not going to be something that happens. I am not sacrificing my Thursday night to get on a call with a dude that's a complete douchebag, because it's with one of the sponsors that we work with, but the dude is a complete asshole who sent out the invitation and stuff for it and is demanding that people show up for it. He's like, I know it's an inconvenient time, so I will definitely appreciate it if you show up. Then why don't you put it at a less inconvenient fucking time than 8 p.m. at Eastern? Like, seriously. I've talked to him on the phone before. He's a complete douchebag. Yeah, I ain't calling into something at 8 p.m. I'm not salaried. Yeah, that's a first. I don't think any of us are going to join that call, though, because, again, it's like, that's beyond inconvenient. That's completely unreasonable. Inconvenient would be 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that. Annoying, but not impossible. 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. on a Thursday night? Fuck no. I am not paid enough for that. Nor, again, I'm also hourly, so I definitely won't be on that call. Yeah, that's just one of those things. It's like, do you really have so little respect for other people and their time that that's what you're going to schedule? And again, the dude's such a douchebag just from when I've had to talk to him before. It's one of those dudes that thinks he knows everything, thinks that people actually like hearing him talk. That kind of loser, pretty much. It's like, I think I'll be watching college football at that time, or live streaming to YouTube. Doing something that doesn't make me angry, or depressed, or annoyed, or something that I don't hate. That's just jobs for you. I got no respect for you or your time or any of that stuff. Even though I know they're mostly AI generated, you have all those stories that constantly pop up on Facebook. It's just like, they're so clearly AI generated, but they're still kind of entertaining to listen to or just watch on like the Facebook shorts. They're just like, boss demands you come in for this. Like, you've worked 27 days in a row without any sort of a break. Well, you have to come in this next weekend and every weekend following. Show commitment. Show you're a team player. While the boss is off in like another country or something. They're entertaining, even though I know that most of them are fake. But some of them are probably real. Given the Adam situation, I know that some of them are probably real, which is disturbing, to say the least. Everyone else works unpaid overtime because they're committed. Maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago they did. I think that ain't how things work these days. And is this actual... I guess all these trees are combined into one thing to clean? Is that what's wanting me to do? Like, they're all combined into one thing? That's gotta be what it is. And, like, if I was making some insane amount of money, sure, I'd consider showing up for that, but I don't make enough hourly for something like that to be worth having to go to. If I was making $100,000 a year, sure, maybe you could swing that, but no. Just definitely not. I don't even think my boss, my manager, is making that much, so... That's gonna be a big note from all of us. It's just funny that they feel so entitled they think that they can take our time at that time of day. It's just kind of funny. Again, also scary that they actually think that they feel that entitled to our time. It makes me really, really want to just, like... Part of the reason I want to win the lottery is not just for the financial stability of it, but because there are some people that I really want to say some very, very bad things to in my life, in my line of work, that I just really want to say some extremely, extremely terrible things to as I walk out the door, and that's part of why I really want to win it, just so I can go and do that more than anything else. Because I got some things to say to a lot of our CRAs and other people I've been stuck working with in this field. And Adam. Actually, well, no, Adam doesn't matter anymore because I don't work for them anymore. And again, I'm sure he'll probably be in jail in a couple of years, but... Or at least bankrupt. Yeah, there are some people I really want to say some very offensive things to. That's part of why I want to win the money, just so I can do so. And... okay, so that thing still needs cleaning. Okay, got it. Okay, there cannot be that much more left in here, inside. Yeah, I think all the gallery flushies in there are done, except for the ones on the outside, potentially. Alright, so I think it's time to jump to the upper area here. This is not the Ferris wheel that needs cleaned, don't we all? No, I definitely have reasons that I need to say certain things to certain people. Because the only reason I'm not a CRA at this point, which is like a big step up, which it would cause problems for streaming probably because I'd have to travel a lot, but at the same time, I'm young, I have no family to take care of, no wife or kids, and I'm definitely down to do a lot of traveling around the country on the company dime, meals paid for on the company dime. The only reason I'm not a CRA is, quite frankly, because I'm not an African-American woman. I hate having to say it, but that is the exact reason why I'm not that role. Because you have to be a woman and or African-American to get a CRA role. 95% of them are. I'm not even joking, it's actually that. And most of them have a brain about the size of a squirrel's nutsack at this point. Like, they literally have a collective IQ of that of a squirrel's nutsack. So unfortunately, I'm not the right color for that role, sadly, or the right gender for it. That's really the only advancement I could get in my field at this point, is if I was a CRA, so... That's literally the only advancement I could even get at this point. Because that's like the logical next step you can take, but I'm not the right demographic for it, so... Because I could easily do these people's jobs, because they're literal idiots. Most of them are. A few of them aren't, but most of them are just complete and total dumbasses. And given how little work they accomplish in a given day, I could easily do their jobs. I'm also not probably... I mean, you're supposed to be, like, attractive for it, too, so I'm probably not at that level, either. So, that probably doesn't help me. I'm not attractive enough for certain roles out there, so that ain't helping me. You're one of the two. Very true. You're at least a female, so you'd have a much higher chance than I would. Because I've had maybe 2 male CRAs in my entire career so far, versus like 20+ females. No, wait, I think I've had 3 males. I'm sorry, I've had 3 males. And all the others have been female. And only 1 or 2 of them have ever been white. Yeah, but you're still a female, so that at least gives you a better odds than I have. I've had maybe 1 Asian CRA, and that was actually a guy. But that was a long time ago, and he was also very bad at his job, so... Alright, so this seems to be the vast majority of what's left in this job, thankfully, so... Let's get this rooftop cleaned off and we'll be good to go. But yeah, that's the reality of this line of work, so since I'm not the correct demographics, I really can't move up. So I don't know what the hell I'm still doing here. I mean, I'd hate the work regardless, because I hate the field, but if I was making the amount of money that they do, and the amount of travel I'd get to do, that would be a different story. You have to have a certain level of immorality to do a lot of this medical work at this point. That's a big part of the problem. I don't know, I will definitely never get to be one because, again, not the right demographics, and because, in all honesty, I despise the field anyway, so... I'm very good at it, but I've despised almost every second of it for the last 5 or 6 years that I've done it, so... Apparently Home Depot is like putting on online courses to get certified in all sorts of trades right now or something, and I'm extremely tempted to look into it. Oh, wait. Why is the thing showing up now? We're not at 95%, though. We're only at 87%. The thing's showing up early. So is it tied to the amount of objects left to clean? Like, is that it? Like, it's the amount of objects left to clean, not the percentage that we're at, maybe? Well, oh, well, I fell off. Okay, so it's not actually what I thought it was. It might be things left to clean and not percentage. Okay, then, that's good to know. Mostly these targets that are unclean currently. Okay. The volcano isn't cleaned yet, or is it the target? Okay, it's the target. I was about to say, I thought the volcano was pretty clean. Oh, the landing gear isn't clean yet. Or, no, that's not the landing gear, that's the friggin' death ray from the first game. Because that was the whole concept of the first game. Alright, let's get back up on top. Okay, so I guess it does just pop up when it's like a certain amount of things left to clean, not necessarily a percentage. Because a lot of this is just literally... Can I get it with the green nozzle? And like clean it a little more easily? Like one extension? Yeah, that's helping. But, like, to tell you the extent of the stupidity of people in that role, this was about 2 months ago. The CRA showed up 3 hours late because she wasn't intelligent enough to drive to the right location, and then didn't even apologize about it and acted like we were inconveniencing her just for existing. That's the kind of people we're dealing with that. Or giving us queries on stuff because they were too lazy to review something, so they want us to confirm that things are okay on that certain subject, because they were too lazy to review the information we gave them. That happens a lot. And that's just the kind of stuff that really pisses me off, that you're allowed to have a job when you literally do nothing. When a trained monkey could probably do your job just as well, for being honest. It just gets infuriating, honestly, it just really does. And just the fact that I know that I'm selling people on experimental treatments for conditions they have, and they're never going to see anything from it, really. They might get the chance of getting some amount of healing, then they just get to pay for it later on, alongside, you know, the billions of other dollars the drug company is going to make off of it. Went to healthcare because I wanted to help people and heal people. That is unfortunately just not what it is as a field. Sadly. Okay, we're over 90%, that's good. And this job ended up taking a lot longer than I thought. The next one looks like it's going to be shorter at least. Clean the balls. Scrub the balls. Scrub the balls real good. Which, that reminds me, the Bailin' Out Loud show is back for Season 2, and it's just as funny as the first season. I feel like such an asshole for laughing at it, because I probably shouldn't be, but my god, it's so funny. Because she's the girl that has, like, really bad Tourette's. And, like, it shouldn't be as funny as it is, and it makes me feel like such an asshole for laughing at it, but it's just freaking hilarious. Just some of the stuff she says is just so insanely out there that you can't help but laugh because you're just not expecting comments like that. It's like already this season she's had a tick for wanting to punch her fiance in the crotch. Is one of her ticks. And then just like another one is, she's like, JB and Joe Biden are smoking meth in my basement, or crack or something in my basement. It's just like when they say that out loud, it's just like, you're not expecting it. It's so out of nowhere, and it's so freaking funny. You can't help but laugh. But, you know, like, you feel like an asshole for laughing at her because it's not like she can help it, but it's so freaking funny because it's so out of nowhere and makes no sense. It's just hilarious. I love those trashy TLC shows. I'm sure 600 Pound Life is coming back at some point in the near future, so gonna have to watch the fat people on there, and that makes me feel better about my own self not being as overweight as they are. Because I'm certainly overweight, but I ain't that level, so... Where are we at? 96%? Let's go. We're almost there. Yeah, that was easily one of the funniest things I've heard so far this season. A couple of the funniest things I've heard. I think I'm an episode behind on that, and I'm like 5 episodes behind on Survivor and Amazing Race, so I got lots of stuff to catch up on. Plus, I still haven't finished watching Alice in Borderland Season 3. Gotta watch that and see how it ends, and I've got like 4 other series I want to watch on there. I think I mentioned this before. I started rewatching Breaking Bad again on the plane back from Japan because they had the entire first season on there. And I only ever got through like 2.5 seasons of the show and then just forgot about it for a while on Netflix. So I really do want to see how it ends because I know it's like one of the greatest shows of all time. And I was loving what I was watching of it. I was just lazy about actually watching episodes. Because there's only, you know, so many hours in the day. There's only so many things you can watch in a day. Wait, what is it want me to click? Oh, up here, okay. Well, speaking of lottery stuff, I'm going to need to go probably get more tickets this week. Because I don't normally play, especially the Mega Millions, I don't normally play it, but it's... Once something gets over 500 million, I'm willing to play it. Because as I've always talked about before, your odds are no different based on the value of the jackpot. Just the odds someone wins goes up the higher the jackpot goes. And I think it's all rigged anyway. I think that it goes to specific people and specific locations. So I do think it's rigged. But that's just a conspiracy theory for another day. Talk about rigging it in like 1984 and stuff, so it's not exactly impossible. And I mean, they've proven now that all the sports stuff is rigged. Like, didn't a bunch of people just get indicted for that, like, in the last week or so? For, like, sports cheating and stuff recently? I heard about that. I didn't see too much about it, but I heard rumors about it, so I don't know how true any of that is. I don't sports bet because, again, I've always kind of thought it might be at least a little bit rigged. I mean, they were blatantly helping the Chiefs win for so long. Okay, we're at 99%, which is good. Oops. Well. Yeah, I don't see anything flashing right there, so let's go up again. Ooh, well, I don't know what I'm missing there, actually. Oh, wait, there's something down here missing. Okay, hang on. Some of the... Oh, yeah, there was something there. Oh, it's the roof rail. Okay. Okay, clean that part. Put that. Okay, there we go. That's done. It's probably the hinges down here, isn't it? Something dumb like that related to the door. Or maybe the pole. Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, well, okay, there it goes. Okay, 3 things to go. Let's roll. Only 3 more to go. 2 more to go. Oh, I missed a whole area up here somehow. I'm surprised that was less than 1% of it. I don't know how that was less than 1% of it. There's one thing left. There we go. All right. Well, that was a surprisingly long job, to be honest. Not it for the night, obviously, but that was a much longer job than I expected. Yeah, it paid me pretty well, so that's good. Back to home base for a second. So is there only one job currently available? I think so. Detergento. Road sweeper. Okay, something that actually looks easy to clean for once. Let me check the thing here, though. Looks like we're going to be back in that entertainment area. Ooh, do I have the Prime Vista triple tip nozzle or the Urban X double turbo? I need to look at that. Hang on. So yeah, it says the Urban X double turbo nozzle. Or is that a later thing? No, that's the adaptable nozzle. But that is something. Yep, and there's a trophy for that, which is good. But I think there's one we have to do with only the adaptable nozzle, so let me double check that. But I think there's a trophy for that. Complete any job using only the adaptable nozzle. Okay, so that would be a good one to do here. We don't have any of these, like, super things yet. Okay, so yeah, that'll be a good option for this trophy because this is a much smaller job. So we can switch it over to just the adaptable nozzle. So switch to that. And then, yep, there's the adaptable nozzle. Then we just clean the whole thing with this. Oh yeah, that should be fairly easy, so. The rest of it doesn't matter, we just have to use only this nozzle the whole time. We're already 5% of the way there, so super easy. Bad, isn't it? As soon as I turned the corner and saw the revelers having fun chucking huckleberries around, I knew I was in trouble. Style down and act like I was supposed to be there. Interesting, so you got peer pressured into painting your van red for some reason. I ain't judging, I'm just curious. Alright, already over 10%. Let's go. This is a much nicer job. Something that's actually quick for once. Already almost 20%. Let's go. Over 20% already. Let's go. Probably would have been semi-alright if I hadn't panicked, pressed your brushers on. God, did you run people over or something? Is that what we're about to get at? I don't know, I thought that driving through that parade gotta look official like a fruit mixer or something. You know, that's actually pretty logical for, like, a design of, like, a street sweeper or something for that. I can actually kind of see that, so... Turn the street into a river of... Did you just murder everyone in the street? Hold on a second. Hold on just a damn second. If you read that comment there... Did this dude just, like, murder an entire street of people? Like, is that what you're saying with that? Because you turned it into a bunch of jelly? Is this dude, like, a secret murderer of, like, 1,000 people in the street because he didn't turn his street sweeper off? We gotta seriously ask that right now. We seriously gotta ask that right now. Is he just a straight-up murderer of, like, 1,000 people in the street here because he couldn't turn his street sweeper off? That's what's being directly implied here. Even if it's being under the cover of something else. That's actually what this is sounding like. So that's pretty fucked up. I'm hoping that's not what happened, but that's pretty fucked up. No, that's pretty fucked up. I gotta go pee, actually, so I'll be right back. Let's just contemplate what I just said and see if I'm actually correct or not. Alright, much better. You guessed that? I mean, I honestly don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking... I hope that didn't just screw me. That wasn't my choice. I did not mean to switch to that. I didn't clean anything, so... I hope I'm not going to have to redo this one. Maybe there's, like, one job, like the penny farthing in this game, that's going to be super easy and not require, like, any effort. Only be like 8 or 9 things. That'll be good for all of these miscellaneous trophies. Yeah, I hope that didn't just screw me. I also didn't look to see if this one actually had any specific trophies to it. I don't think it does, though. Let me double check. Nah, I don't see anything for this, so... Okay, so be very careful if you pause the game for any reason, because you can easily get screwed over by that, so be very careful if you ever pause the game for anything. But this seems like, so far, that it's going to be the easiest job in the game. Unless there's something easier later on, so... Even then, I could have probably written it out if I hadn't started waving. I own this moment. A disaster zone of epic proportions from the bushes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're like a secret murderer or something. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this. Maybe I'm thinking too much of lore into this or something. I don't know. But I am slightly concerned with this person and what their history is, because they made some connotations there that sounded like murder, so... We'll be on their good side for now, just in case they are murderers, but, like, yeah, I'm assuming this is supposed to be jelly or something, but... And this is like a PG game, but still, I'm not sure how much I trust these people, so... Yeah, this and the dog car seem to be the two easiest jobs right now in the game, so... Probably the two best for a lot of the miscellaneous trophies that are related to, like, specific nozzles and stuff. Okay, clean that off. 60%, so that's good. Oh, what's he saying now? Keep morale high, no one reports this, I love my job. Yeah, this... I hope it's not supposed to be murder, but he's not making it sound any better from his commentary on this. Catch a piece of litter between my brushes, I feel like a black hole sucking it to another galaxy. Okay, that's more normal, but like, this dude seems like... I have concerns about this dude. Like, this literally sounds like hidden, like, murder talk or something. I don't know, I'm not particularly trusting of this guy now, because he's not giving me a whole lot of reasons to be trusting right now. Hopefully it's just me being paranoid and a theorist on stuff, but I don't know. I'm not feeling super trusting of this dude, so... Back just studying for physics. Oh, good luck, man. I liked physics, don't get me wrong. I liked that a lot more than chemistry or biology. I greatly preferred physics and engineering, partially because they're actually way more, like, practical to real-world use. And I was actually good at engineering in the high school class I took for it, but physics was one of the 2 times I got a B in high school for a final grade for the class. Don't get me wrong, I cut it close on other classes, but I got 2 Bs in high school in, like, overall class grades. One of them was physics, the other one was one of my math classes. I want to say, like, whatever the algebra class I took in 10th grade was. We had a really good physics teacher that made it all really, really interesting and fun. And he also taught the engineering a few years later, which made that class really fun. Yeah, physics got to be confusing at times. But if you're going to ever have sort of an engineering degree of any kind, physics is definitely going to help you more than bio and chem are. That's for sure. Chemistry serves no purpose to me unless I'm actually the one in the lab making the drugs that I'm selling to people. But they need people like me to sell the drugs to people that are stupid enough to take them, or desperate enough to take them. Trying to put as much on your index card and reference table. Oh, so you get an index card at least? That's good. We would sometimes get that, but not always. It depended on the class. Like, physics in high school, we definitely got that. Engineering in high school, I don't think we got anything like that, but we never had... For engineering in high school, we never had, like, a major big exam there. We just had 4 or 5 tests throughout the year and a couple of projects that we had to do were our main grades, which made it a lot better. We're up to almost 80%. Should get us 80% here. Should 1 finish the job, 2 get paid, and 3 call the cops. Probably is a good idea, Cassie. I like that plan. Seems like a good plan to me. So I'm not sure I fully trust this person. I'm slightly concerned with some of the things this guy has said, so... Meanwhile, in Detergento, oh no, poor guy. God, like, did he run over a bunch of people? Again, like, I legitimately don't know what the answer to this question is. Good luck to the geezer, let him have it, mate, clearly underpaid. So he's an underpaid murderer? Is that what we're gonna say now? Which is probably what a lot of murderers are, technically, that they probably don't make a lot of money, so they take it out on other people by killing them, but I don't know. I'm very much concerned at this. CDL drivers earn good money, also because he's going to need a vacation urgento. So yeah, again, like, is he going to need to leave here urgently because he murdered a bunch of people? These conversations are not making it any better. Again, I'm probably looking too much into it, but at the same time, these conversations are not making things any better for this dude. Of course, my mind is known for going to the worst possible places about things as quickly as possible, but still. This is not a normal conversation. There's some suspiciousness to this conversation, regardless of if you have my mind or not. There is definitely a little bit of suspiciousness here that I'm not fully trusting of, so... It's probably the roof mainly that still needs to be cleaned, so let's see if we can get the rest of the tires in this lower part down here. Got it. Oh yeah, the roof still needs a lot, so let's get it done. Chemical, biochemical engineers, and biomechanical engineers need to know a lot of chem. They do, but I'm certainly not there. Hey, again, no vacations, he's American. Very true. In like 99% of cases. Not everyone. Federal government people get a shitload of vacation. I should know that because my dad worked for the state government for a long time. And got like state level benefits and stuff, so... Depends on what you work, but if you work in the private sector in America, you are completely correct, most likely. Though me going to Japan was a condition of my employment, and given that I've literally been the best employee for like 7 out of the 8 months that I've been there, they were not going to be stupid enough to deny it because they're not about to lose out on the money that I'm generating them. If they did, they'd be retarded. But then again, I've worked with so many retards in the previous job, who knows? Like, our PTO for year 1 is awful. It's like less than 10 days of PTO, which is pretty bad for a full-time job with a good pay. Or at least a decent pay. But it ups after year 1, so... If I decide to stay in the field, that is, which again, I don't know about yet. Like, I'm good at the job, I have job security... I'm very good at it, I'm very valuable to the company, but I despise what I do, so I don't know. %. On, clean this last bit up here. 97. We gotta keep using the adaptable nozzle because there's a trophy tied to it, but I might have screwed it up earlier, so I don't know if it's gonna unlock. 97. There's a lot left on this side of the van. 98. Not 98, still 97 somehow. Okay. Just the tires now. Tires need a lot of work on them. Probably why we don't see any people in the game. Very true. The most overworked people on the planet. I don't know if we're quite the most overworked. I think some of the third world countries, even like Japan and Korea, I think are just as overworked, if not worse than us. Like, I think a lot of aspects of Japan, they're overworked compared to us. I think South Korea has a lot of problems with being overworked. And then, like, the third world countries, you know, your North Korea, your African countries, stuff like that. So, we're not quite the most overworked, but we're up there by modern standards. But at the same time, we also make a lot more money than a lot of those other countries do. Which is a fair thing to state. Like, if you're evaluating every positive and negative, we do make more money than a lot of them do. At least in terms of take-home pay. Now, that doesn't count all the other bullshit we have to deal with, but in terms of just straight take-home pay, it is higher. Okay, we're at 99% now, which is good. So we'll see if this trophy actually unlocks. I don't know if it's going to unlock because I might have screwed it up by accidentally switching that one time. But I didn't clean anything with the other objects, so maybe not. Okay, so tire, cab step, and side sweeper brush are the three things that we still need. Okay, so side sweeper brush and cab step. Okay, so it is this brush, but what's left on it? I don't see anything left on it. I don't see anything left on it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Cab step. Oh, this little tiny thing? It did not give me the trophy. Wonderful. So my accidental switch to another power washer did not count. So, wonderful. Great. So this one is going to be very picky, isn't it? Very true. It's not enough to afford certain things. We have the best specialist healthcare in the world, but primary care and all the normal healthcare things, no, not even close to best. Not even like top 20. Yeah, and that is something a lot of doctors, even on the left, are going to tell you, that we do have the best specialist healthcare in the world. Like the experienced surgeons and all that kind of stuff. We are the best in the world in that, but it's also going to cost you an arm and a leg to pay for it. And our primary care is lacking well behind a lot of other countries. Gas station. What is our job here? Don't even blame it. Some people, current crimes, not even survive. Maybe if they were only stealing food. So many of them steal like TVs and jewelry and stuff. Okay, so I accidentally screwed that up by switching away from the adaptable nozzle, so we know not to do that. Okay, gas station, we have to roll down the playground slide for a trophy. This will be the last job we do tonight, so let's get started on it. That's so we can get through it. Oh, we have to clean this whole area. Yeah, we're probably not getting through this tonight. You doing this whole thing over? I would prefer not to because it seems like a waste of time, but okay. Doors, walls, and all the fiddly bits out front, even the roof. Well, it depends on whatever's marked for the job. Ain't been up there for quite some time, but our boy Marvin practically lives up there, so who knows what you'll find. That has me concerned as to what we might find up there. Is it going to be like a murder scene or something? And this whole thing's going to turn into a giant murder mystery? Which would be an interesting way to take the franchise, not going to lie. Like selling drugs or stealing it. And I don't care if people sell drugs and stuff for the most part. It's like, yeah, they're bad for you in every possible way, but like, as long as you're not directly hurting someone, I'm a little more lenient on things. But I mean, I dated someone who was addicted to marijuana even, and there was a lot of misery to that, so it does make me wonder, like, how these other drugs are going to affect people. I mean, for all I know, she was on other things too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she was on something else stronger, but not really for me to decide. Not gonna lie, with how the world is going, a lot of people's retirement plans might end up being living in prison for life, and that is sad. Hopefully we can get things back on track, but honestly, who knows at this point. I'm not smart enough to come up with solutions to all this, so I'm not gonna try to figure out a solution to all of this. I'm going to continue power washing in a video game because it's more fun than dealing with stuff in real life. I think this game actually has a VR version, by the way, like the original one does, which is crazy. And I'm actually very intrigued to find out if it's true or not. So guys, my dad's going to be here next weekend, most likely. Let's see if I can get support here in the chat and on comments and stuff for him to A, play some Powerwash, B, play some VR game, or C, which I think is the most likely, play some College Football 26 against me. His team won't be as good, he's not as good with buttons and stuff, but he's probably more knowledgeable than I am on like football plays and such. And could actually run like good plays and shit that I can't do, so let me know if you guys, I really want to try to make that happen if I can. I think that could make for like a really fun video, like NCS and Dad play college football, and it goes badly, or something like that. Because he could actually probably beat me with how college football is compared to like a first-person shooter or something. First-person shooter, I'm going to win every single time, but college football, it's more about calling the right plays, and he's more knowledgeable on that than I am, so it can make for an interesting time. Like the idea of it, like the idea of B, gotcha, or D, make him complete Fallout New Vegas blindfolded. Yeah, that's not going to be something that happens. I can't even beat Fallout New Vegas blindfolded, most likely. Maybe I could with the right person guiding me, but just like normally, no. Like, I tried to beat Fallout 3 blindfolded with my girlfriend guiding me at the time, and like, now don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun with that, like, hour-and-a-half long video. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the hell out of that. But it didn't go very well, partially because the audio was delayed because it's a PS3 capture card and all. And that didn't help. That would be funny, though. It would end very badly, I'm sure. Because I've had to teach him the entire Fallout lore for him to watch the first season of the show. I'm going to have to teach even more lore for Season 2. And what they end up ultimately getting wrong with lore. Which, like, the first season was not, like, this worst thing in the history of Fallout lore ever, or anything like that people claim it to be. It had its issues, but it had a lot of good to it, and a lot of the lore does technically fit in one way or another. For those who were, like, actually deeply invested in it and actually know everything about it. And I'm going to be very curious to see if somehow the Fallout New Vegas getting nuked ending ends up being the canon ending. Because that's a really rare ending you can get from, I think, the Dead Money DLC. And if that ends up being the canon ending, that would be a bold choice, Cotton. That would be a very bold choice that I would not be expecting. When I have to go inside, is it literally just the outside, and that's why it's, like, already 15% of the way done? The college football thing, I think, would be fun, though, because, like, he is a big college football person, and he wouldn't have to necessarily make big plays, he'd just have to make the right play calls compared to me. I think he'd have a better chance of that than he would against, like, something that's a first-person shooter. Because he can't play a first-person shooter to save his life, so... Okay, clean that little area off. Got it. Everyone you would rather do? I think the best would be like something with college football, just because that's something he could actually play and not be terrible at. But Powerwash he'd be fine with, because Powerwash is literally just cleaning things. And he played the original Powerwash and actually liked what little he played of it, so... That one's not impossible either, so either of those two options I think are possible. I don't know, maybe I should just stick him in the tutorial for Call of Duty World at War on Veteran, just see what happens from that. That could be pretty funny. Or even just like Modern Warfare 2019, the easiest Call of Duty game. Make him learn how to play things that have dual sticks. Just thinking of ideas, though. A new job is available. Dirt Finder, it's Park Warden. Here you're back in business. There's a gazebo. And that's basically a gazebo that needs cleaning. Okay, sure, we can go for that later, but... We have a ball to roll down a slide here for one. And more importantly, we have a lot more to clean, so... We will see. We're not going to get to that person tonight. At best, we're going to finish this job tonight. And I'm guessing we have to clean those little oil stains in there too, don't we? Which I can get here in a second, but I'll get the main dirt first. And now we're cleaning sand because of reasons. And now we're cleaning a giant cactus. October went by fast. It did. A lot of this year has gone by fast, to be honest. Lone Star Station. Almost 25% of the way in. I don't know where this slide is that it's talking about, though. These rigs that pass by, might as well call them drivable houses. They're as big as one. You feel them before you see them. Think I feel one now. Wait for it. Is one about to pass us? Can we step out on the road and get hit by one? No, but we can step out on the road, which is interesting. It says I can clean those, but... how? Like, do I have to use soap for it, maybe? Is that what's going to want me to do with that? I mean, that's fine. I'm just curious to know if that's what the game's going to require me to do here. Okay, that is what it wants me to do. Okay, so it's actually making me use the soap and stuff a little bit more. In, like, actually strategic ways to some degree. Alright, let's clean the giant cactus. Clean the giant cactus. We're only at 25% in. This is bad. We'll clean the battery that's already plugged in because that's totally safe. Alright, so I guess we have to clean all these spots with actual soap. Which I don't deny is an interesting way to do things, it's just slightly annoying at times. Especially when you're cleaning sand. %, not good. Alright, let's see if we can find whatever this slide is that it's talking about. We'll get the cactus later. I kind of want to get the slide done, wherever that is. Or at least some easy-to-clean things. Bitcoin hitting all-time high. Oh, okay. Stops a little after Election Day. I don't know. This year it's going to be interesting because, like, New Jersey is competitive, which no one ever thought would happen. Virginia was not competitive until the Democrat Attorney General candidate said he wanted to kill his opponent's children. And now it's competitive. Because, yes, that's what that party believes at this point, is killing the opponent's children is okay. according to them. So that race suddenly got competitive, which it affects us because my parents live in a county that's, 20 minutes from the Virginia border, so they don't want all the transplants from Virginia to get mad about things after if she wins. And it's blatantly anti-constitutional on certain things, but of course, well, then again, we have a good government now, so we'll see what happens, but New Jersey's going to be interesting, and Virginia's going to be interesting. I'm actually going to be interested to see what happens. California, I suspect they're going to vote to redistrict because California votes alongside its government, its own, radical government. They're not going to vote against something that benefits them in power. Plus, they have holes in the envelopes. They've proven that can allow you to see what people voted for, so the mail people can destroy votes they don't want. So yeah, California's a lost cause, but I'll hope for the people in Virginia and New Jersey, especially Virginia, just again my parents being, 20 minutes from the border of Virginia. I do not want my hometown getting stuck with all the transplants from Virginia. They're mad about what they voted for and then vote for the same things again. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with New York as well, so I'm definitely worried about that. The idiots that voted for Demi shit in New York are going to flee as soon as they realize they made the wrong choice, voting for a communist. And then we're going to have to bear the brunt of it. In states like North and South Carolina, we're going to have to bear the brunt of it. Florida's already trying to enact ways to stop it, but we don't have the balls to do that here in South Carolina. We're governed by rhinos. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where this slide is that it's mentioning. Electricity, what's that? I don't know. Something in video games. Having fun? I am having a lot of fun, Phantom. This game is a lot of fun. It is a great game, it is a lot of fun, but it is a very grindy and time-consuming platinum. That is for sure. Which is okay, because I love the game, and I also only have to do it once this time instead of twice with both PS4 and PS5 versions, which is nice. We'll see. I hope you guys can beat him, but I am not confident in the power of stupid people being told to get things for free. I'm not. I feel like that's going to be a big threat. That's what's going to win people over. Even if they don't understand that other people are paying for it and all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to move to a better place, definitely do so. Because I would trust you guys, because you're not going to vote for the same stupid shit that you escaped. But there's a lot of people that will leave there and then vote for the same stupid shit that they escaped from. That's the kind of thing we don't want. I also don't know where this, oh, there it is. So there's is it like a Buc-ee's or something? Is that what it's supposed to be? Still need to finish the first game. First game is great. What you have in stocks by 30. Hopefully you have something good by then. Yeah, first game's great. Second game I am loving so far, for sure. And there's no challenges to deal with in it, which is great. It's a little buggy at times, so do be wary of that if you decide to do it. For the most part, it's not anything too bad. Third of the way through this job. Wish you could. Just gotta keep investing. Yeah. I also have so much investment into guns and ammo that that's going to benefit me no matter what the situation goes to. Which there's a book I'm reading that I really need to get back into reading. It's set in like an alternate 2024 or 2028 where the candidates for president are both terrible, so a third party comes into power called the Common Party that is overall very right-wing, but very, like, no baggage attached to them the way that Trump has. And after, like, a big debate sort of toward the end of the presidential cycle, they win everyone over, they win the election, they actually bring about an American golden age, and the rest of the world does not like that. The European socialists, the Chinese communists, the Russians, and pretty much everyone else is not happy about it. They also have an Islamic caliphate that has taken over the Middle East by that point. And presumably all of them are going to launch some sort of attack on America, but I'm not sure yet because I haven't gotten to that point in the book. Which, I mean, I have my alt history book that I'm still slowly working on. It wasn't alt history when I started writing it back in 2019, but now it would be considered alt history. But I'm both lazy and concerned about the fact that I'll probably be killed for writing it, so there's that. Stocks and Legos, for sure. Always listen to music when you play the first game. Would lose your mind listening to The Washer the whole time. That's fair enough. Europe never liked us. I mean, that's true, but, like, in that book, it's, like, way worse. Like, Poland and Hungary and the Czech Republic are not on our side the way that they are in the real world. It's like, right now, our biggest allies in the world really need to be Poland, Hungary, and Japan. Probably need to be our biggest three allies, because they have the same values that we have. Japan just elected its most right-leaning prime minister in history. She's a prodigy of Shinzo Abe, who was one of the only foreign leaders that Trump was close with back in the first term, and then was blatantly murdered. And Japan is a wonderful country in a lot of ways, and a part of me really wishes I lived there at times, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I hate not being able to own guns because that's just a part of my American identity, but other than that, I love everything about Japan. I mean, obviously you don't need weapons over there because it's so safe, is the other thing. Like, you don't need weapons there because it's so safe. And over there, they still hang you for crimes, which is crazy. Wish we could get that back here. Nope, that's too insensitive or something. I don't know what the rule against it is, but it's probably considered too insensitive or some bullshit like that. Well, this is not cleaning very well. That's not good. Yes, I have read the Bible. Heard Japan's laws so strict like it's crazy. Oh yeah, they are very, very strict over there. Heard a company can get sued for not making snacks look identical to how they are on the plastic wrapper. If that's true, then that's pretty crazy, because I haven't heard of that one being a thing, but it might very well be a thing. that was like that in America. Every country would be, like, arrested by now. Every CEO would be in prison by now if that was a thing. And that might not be a bad thing, if we're being completely honest. That might not necessarily be a bad thing. And if you did that in America, it would be like literally every CEO. But again, that wouldn't be a bad thing to have every CEO in this country get dragged in front of the Congress and be arrested by actual good people. And then hopefully executed. Not allowed to falsely advertise a product. Okay, then. Guess you can get a perfect SpongeBob popsicle there, probably. Well, I don't know, because I never saw, like, ice cream trucks or anything, but it's not something I was necessarily looking for while I was over there. But there were so many things I loved about being over there. That's why me and Lizard Guy really want to go back over there once he gets out of the military, as like a celebration. How are we still at 40% from playing some of this stuff? Like, that type of law is a little too far. Yeah, in some ways it probably is. Like, if your ice cream melts, then what do you do? Like, if your ice cream melts, are you going to get arrested because your ice cream melted like 1 degree more than it should have? Because you can't help that. So hopefully no one's getting arrested for that level of stuff. Yeah, it's an interesting book. I'll get back to you guys when I eventually finish reading it. It's about to get to the point where I guess America's going to be attacked in some way, but I don't know yet because I haven't read that part of it. And then the book that I'm writing is probably going to get me killed pretty quickly if I do end up publishing it, so might need to do it anonymously. Because the book that I'm writing involves an alternate version of 2020 where basically when the election happens, the Supreme Court steps in, they see the fraud, all that kind of stuff. There's so much proof that it's there. They see a case on it. They all get murdered because they got to cover it up. Biden gets elected fraudulently, and a bunch of states then secede from the Union, and it leads to a Second American Revolution, is what my book entails. So, not going to be something that certain people want to see happen. And it's written in like a World War Z style, and a lot of times, of like interview style. So it's had to go through a lot of rewrites. And still isn't anywhere near done, even after like 5+ years. You know, one's that low. Yeah, I don't know. Like, different countries are different. Writing would be a good way to break away from the standard-ass 9-to-5 that I fucking despise. As a work in a field where we're horribly mistreated and have to do blatantly immoral things. Alright, so I think we're going to try to get to like 50% here and then call it a night. I think it'll be good because it's past midnight and I got to get up for work tomorrow, so we're going to get to 50%, then I'm probably going to call it a night. I might still... Well, no, I don't want to finish this job just because there is a miscellaneous trophy here. I'm not sure actually where it is. It's like we have to push a ball down a slide, but I haven't seen a slide I can go down. Unless it's behind me somewhere. Okay, so do I have to push this soccer ball up? And that's what I have to do? Well, now what am I supposed to do? Like that? Got it. Okay, at least we got the trophy. So yeah, once we get to 50%, I'll probably call it the night here. I might finish this job myself, just because there's no reason to do anything else. So we got our miscellaneous trophy for it, so... Still only at 47%. You would think this would clean up a little bit faster. %. About to be 49%, I hope. Okay, the ice machine still has several things that need to be cleaned, but we'll get that here in a second, or I will. As soon as we hit 50% here, I want to thank you guys for watching tonight. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. We're going to be continuing on Powerwash here in the near future, but next week being Halloween Eve is going to be Spoopy Week, so... Probably going to have a couple of streams of retro games, either like Clock Tower as well as the Scooby-Doo game. To be playing that, just because there's progress that needs to be made in both games. So yeah, old school Spoopy games next week, most likely. Maybe I can convince my dad to play College Football 26 or something like that, but we'll see about all of that. So, let's see if we can get to 50% here. Yep, we're at 50% now, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and finish off this job off screen because there's no other trophies related to it, so might as well just do it off stream at that point. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all back here later this week for more trophy and achievement content. See you guys then.